Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about the match between Barcelona and Alaves, because in this game, Barcelona has tied against Alaves 1-1 at the Camp Nou. Do I think that this was the best result Barcelona could achieve tonight? No, I think that Barcelona should have came out with a win. They should have came out with 3 points. But did Barcelona actually perform well? Yes, they did. They actually performed very good on the field. Way better than what we have seen in the past 5 to 6 games. Barcelona looked much more alive. We saw many different players on the pitch. Again, is it very unfortunate to see that Barcelona have lost 2 points and only gained 1? Yes, because Barcelona do want to compete for La Liga. They do want to compete to get into the top 4. And to be very honest, I'm not too frustrated on today's results, and that is because we do have a current temporary coach, right? We do not have the coach that we do desire. We are in that transition. We are going to be having a brand new coach in about 1 to 2 weeks. And I think that right now it's just we're in a very gray moment. We do not know exactly where this Barcelona team is going to go. Like Sergi Barjuan has only been coaching Barcelona, the first team, for about 1 to 2 days. We can't really say much, and he has barely even had time to coach Barcelona B, so it's really hard to say that we have had a very bad game or that we need to do better, because there's nothing really to build upon from today's game. But what we are going to be doing in this video is talk about the first half, the second half, and then give my overall conclusion of this game. But before we go into that topic, I do want to talk about the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app is considered as the best football app you could find within the App Store when it does come to the latest player news, team stats, player stats, any tournament that you do want to follow. It is all compact within the OneFootball app. And for those of you guys who are in the UK, you guys would also be able to see La Liga highlights if you guys are following either FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Real Sociedad. If you guys are in the UK, you would be able to see those teams' highlights. And again, all of this is going to be compact within the OneFootball app. The link is going to be down in the description box down below. By clicking that link, you guys would also be able to support this YouTube channel. But now let's get back into the video. Let's first start with the lineup. Now, I do think that this was the strongest lineup that we could place. Yes, I know that Ansu Fati could have played in the starting 11, but they are taking some precautionary measures. They do not want to force this player in, and so this is the best possible starting 11. Now, many were saying and speculating that this lineup was very worrying because this was the exact same lineup that we have seen under Ronald Koeman. Many were saying that Ronald Koeman was never the problem, but it's not about what players we start within the starting 11. It's about how we use these players within the starting 11. That is what's most important. And tonight, Barjuan used these players much better than what we have been seeing in the past 6 to 7 games. Again, is it to that point where we could say they were performing at a very high level? No, but their performance, their football was much better. They were utilized effectively. Now, before the match even started, there was already reports stating that these players were warming up very intensely. Also, many players did seem very focused on the pitch, and so you can just get that feeling that we are very optimistic, right, to see what these players could do in the near future, because we are heading towards that brand new beginning, because we are going to be taking a different direction. But going into the first half, we did see a very compressed Barcelona, a Barcelona that played much more as a collective. The ball was moving much faster. I think that Barcelona were much closer to who they actually wanted to be than they have ever been before. And what we're going to be doing is basically talk about some specific players, right? I want to get very player focused within the first half, because the 3 players that have really stood out within this game, it was Nico Gonzalez, Gavi, and Eric Garcia. Starting with Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez has again showed why he should be receiving minutes. The fact that every time we saw him on the ball, every second he had that ball, he was impressing. Like, the players, the opposition found it so hard to dispossess Nico Gonzalez, and his physicality is also something that many of us do not talk about enough. Nico Gonzalez, on a physical standpoint, he is a very strong player, which is why I do believe that they find it very difficult to actually dispossess the ball away from him. And the way that he moves the ball and progresses the ball forward, he is also very effective. So it's almost as if we can say that it would be a disservice towards Nico Gonzalez to place him in the central defensive midfield position, because he can do so much more on the ball than off the ball, right? He's very effective. He's always looking to see what players are open. As for Gavi, Gavi was like his partner in crime, right? It's very funny to see this duo between Nico Gonzalez and Gavi, because they understand each other very well. They talk to each other all the time. They know exactly where they're going to be positioned, and so it's a very fascinating thing to see. They were switching positions many times, and Gavi also did show that amazing flick pass to Alba, which really reminded us of Andres Iniesta. Like, Gavi has shown that he is greatly influenced by a player, which is again Andres Iniesta. So I like the fact that we saw Nico Gonzalez and Gavi really take advantage of Jordi Alba's runs. I think that this is something that we have not done a lot in the past 4 to 5 games. So we have not taken advantage of Jordi Alba's runs. I remember back then Jordi Alba making so many runs on the left flank, but they never found him. But now we saw Nico Gonzalez and Gavi progressing the ball forward, always looking for Alba on the the left flank, whether it was a flick over the defensive line or a through pass. And I think that if this duo continues to be consistent, continues to perform, continues to up their level, which is Gavi and Nico Gonzalez, this is going to be a real statement against Pedri and Frankie de Jong. And this is a good thing. I have no idea why people think that I'm trying to cause some sort of tension between Pedri, Frankie, and then Gavi and Nico Gonzalez. This is a great thing to see because the potential of Gavi and Nico, their duo on the field, the more that they play together, it is huge, it is big, it is something that will benefit Barcelona. And the fact that we have choices of either using Pedri, Frankie, or Gavi, Nico, Barcelona, again, will highly benefit from this. And you know what's so crazy about this whole thing is that I think that we can actually field a starting 11 regarding Pedri, Frankie, Gavi, and Nico Gonzalez. If we play in a 3-4-3 diamond, we could actually do that with Frankie de Jong playing as the central defensive midfielder. We have Pedri as the attacking midfielder, Gavi and Nico Gonzalez as the main central midfielders. We can actually do that. That would be a great thing to see, something that I would love to witness one day. And you know what's so funny about that is that Xavi Hernandez has also said, and there's been many reports about him stating that he would love to go back into a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3 diamond, two formations that he would love to use. And let me tell you, if he wants to use Frankie, Pedri, Gavi, Nico in that 4 midfield diamond, please do it. I would love to see that. But the other player that I do want to talk about is going to be about Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia has shown effectiveness moving forward. I know that sounds very weird because he is a center back, and there was this run that he did early in the match where he went into space and then he had the option to center the ball into the box. Like he ran from the defensive line all the way into the front line, and that dribble that Garcia has done in those first, I do believe that it was around the 10th to 15th minute, but that run that Garcia did, that is exactly what he did in the academy. Like that was considered as a trademark play that he has always been doing during his young years. And it's so interesting to see that he was given the permission to do things such as that. Those type of movements coming from Eric Garcia, to see Eric Garcia be very aggressive in terms of the run-ups, the dribbles, passing very quickly, being very decisive when moving forward, that is the Eric Garcia that we want to see. So I was really happy with the performance coming from Eric Garcia. His potential, his ceiling is huge. He can do so much more than just tackle a ball or tackle a player. On the ball, he is gifted. And I think that if Barcelona want to continue to maximize Eric Garcia and his potential, they would also greatly benefit from that player. But look, in the end, as good as these players were playing, Barcelona as a team, they needed a goal. Because without a goal, going into the second half, the fact that we're going 0-0, that does take away a lot in Barcelona's performances. And that is just something that Barcelona is going to have to figure out for the next 9 to 10 months, is to take your chances, to have players who can be very decisive. Like, why do you think players like Ansu Fati always scores a goal every time he does come back to the pitch or every time he does start in the starting 11? Ansu Fati is a player that likes to be decisive, someone who likes to take their chances, someone who is not afraid to move forward, who shows aggressiveness. That is what I want to see coming from Memphis Depay, Coutinho, and Serginho Dest, is to take those chances. It's okay to not overcomplicate things. You don't always have to pass every time you're inside or outside the box. Just make the play that you want to play. Enjoy the football, because if you enjoy the football, Barcelona will be seeing results. And so going into the second half, I remember I was saying how Memphis Depay was someone who needs to be more decisive. He needs to score goals. He hasn't scored a goal in a long time. And then as soon as I said that, Memphis Depay actually scored an open play goal. Like, he scored from outside the box. It was a beautiful goal. He made Barcelona go 1-0, and then he did the ultimate celebration where he puts his fingers inside his ears. He did a little lion celebration, and so it was great to see. It was great to see Memphis Depay score a goal for Barcelona, because the last time we saw this player score an open play goal, it was back on August 29th. Like, yes, has Memphis Depay scored about 3 to 4 games ago? Yes, he did, but they were penalties. So he really needed a goal like this. And those are the type of moments I do want to see coming from our front three, is to see players take those shots, to be decisive, to do something that many of us are not thinking of. And I think that one of the main reasons on why Memphis has not been as decisive as he used to be, it is because Barcelona under Ronald Koeman, they have not been playing the best football. And when your team as a collective is not playing the best football, your players that are supposed to be scoring, they're going to be hindered. Their performances are going to be hindered. But again, this is going to be the Memphis that we want to see, is a decisive Memphis, a Memphis that can score from all angles, because he does have the potential and the talent to do so. And then immediately right after that, we saw Alaves score a ridiculous goal. The fact that this Barcelona team could not defend a dribble like that, the fact that Ter Stegen had to get up and say, what was that? Like, why can't you guys just defend well? The fact that Alaves scored about 1 minute later after that goal and made it 1-1 at the Camp Nou, it was just so embarrassing to see. Like, we can't allow goals like this. And then later after that, we continue to see the exact same Barcelona, a Barcelona that holded an 80% of possession. They were passing the ball very quickly. We saw Ricky Puig and Alejandro Balde come in, receive a couple of minutes, and the one player that did leave early was Nico Gonzalez. Unfortunately, he was asking for a sub because he was feeling some sort of discomfort. And then we saw later Gavi leaving the match too, which does make sense because I get that Barjuan does want to save him for the next game because of, look, the type of performance that Gavi was putting out on the field. I can get why he was saying that, okay, I need this Gavi, I need this version of Gavi to play against Dinamo Kiev next week on Tuesday because we need him. He needs rest. There are other players on this bench that can actually come in for him. So I get why Gavi had to leave early. Is it very unfortunate and very frustrating to see Gavi leave that early because, again, Barcelona were not winning at that moment. Yes, it was very unfortunate. We needed Gavi at that time because he was doing very well. He was always pressuring the ball. He was always looking for vertical passes. And so that is just where we did stand. And then as for Gerard Piqué, he also had to leave early because of an injury. So it was like Barcelona were encountering injuries left and right. And I can get why Barjuan was doing so many changes and so many substitutions for these players. But in the end, the Barcelona that we have been witnessing, it was a much different Barcelona, a Barcelona that has changed without Ronald Koeman, because Barcelona did not repeat the exact same thing. We did not just cross into the box and then pray for the best. Barcelona were attacking from the left to the right to the center of the pitch. The only thing that I would say is that this Barcelona team needs to be more refined. I think that the little tweaks is what really needed to happen for this Barcelona squad. Like, for example, if only Ansu was there to bring the instinct for goal, we would have scored more goals. If only Araujo was there to be that defensive reinforcement, we would have never allowed that type of goal to happen for Alaves. Like, Gerard Piqué literally made that player just go through him and that's it. Like, if Araujo was there, he would have never let that happen. And that is why I do say those little tweaks that we could have made in this game would have really changed Barcelona's game, because the intention was there. The intention of playing good football, it was present. They played very well. But there's really nothing more that I would say about this Barcelona performance. Again, we are in that transition phase. There's really nothing that we could say even more because, like, what? Are we going to blame Sergi Barjuan for a performance like this? He hasn't even been the Barcelona B coach for about 2 months. So it's almost as if right now we're just waiting, right? We're just maintaining, trying to get the best result possible, and then hopefully one day Xavi Hernandez does come to this club as soon as possible, because that is where we're at. And for those of you guys who want to know about what happened to Sergio Aguero, because Sergio Aguero did leave at halftime because he was experiencing like trouble breathing, like he could not breathe well, his chest was hurting, and so Aguero had to leave very early, and many reports stated that Aguero had to leave the Camp Nou in an ambulance. But it does say here, according to Jose Alvarez, who is someone that's close to Aguero, he said that the player's doing well so far. There is more tests that's being done to understand what's currently going on with Aguero, but he should be fine. That is basically what they have been saying. Aguero only left just to be careful, and that is about it. Hopefully Aguero does do well moving forward. I do not want to see Aguero have some sort of health issues, because we want Aguero to do well. We want to see him at the Camp Nou enjoy his football, and that is basically it. I do wish him well and a lot of health. But that is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona post-match review. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.